Zite has been shipping fast, and over the last 4 weeks or so, there are 2 features that I think really deserve our attention. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the new key features from Zite. Number 1, we're looking at the branding capabilities, and number 2, we're going to be looking at the database layer agent. Both of these new features are releasing new opportunities that allow you to build faster in Zite. So if you're interested in learning more, stick around and let's get into it. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Gareth and this is Gap Consulting. It's our mission here to help you unlock the full potential of no-code tools. And Zite is one of the leading no-code tools that is really making a big splash right now with its vibe coding components. In this video, I'm going to be walking through the 2 key features that I think deserve our attention from the last 4 weeks. But before we get into the heart of the video, I first want to invite you to join us for a strategy call. If, as you watch this, you find yourself thinking that you could use a little help building your own next no-code project, or if you're just feeling a little stuck and you're not sure how to move forward best, well, sign up for a free call with our team. Go to gapconsulting.io/strategy-call. We're going to ask a little information about what it is you're working on, and you can then book time with one of our teammates directly there. But now let's jump into the video. So let's suppose you're building a brand new application in Zite. Maybe it's a website, maybe it's an internal portal, maybe it's an external client-facing portal. Whatever the case may be, you start with a blank slate. And it used to be that in Zite, when we jumped in, we had some preset templates that we could choose from in terms of the look and feel, the design of whatever it is we're building. But now you can get that design honed in exactly to your branding within just a few moments. So here I'm going to start with MailChimp. This is an email service provider. It's pretty well known, but I want to just call it out. Let's look at the look and feel of the brand. It has its own font. It has its own colors. This yellow, this vibrant yellow. It has its logo. All of this information is specific to the brand, which is true for any brand, of course, online. So we're going to use this as an example, the MailChimp.com URL. I'm going to copy it and head into Zite. So inside of Zite, I can build a new app. But before I start with my first prompt, I will select this component here, which holds your brands. You can see that I've already built the Gap Consulting brand, and I followed the exact steps that I'm going to show you right here. Start by clicking the plus to create a new brand kit. And we can import a brand or create it manually. In this case, I'm going to do it automatically by importing it through the wizard. I copy and paste the URL that I want to extract the branding from. In this case, it's MailChimp, and I click on Import My Brand. And then I just let Zite go to work. We're going to see live exactly how this goes. You can see that it first goes out and fetches the website. It's going to, once it gets there, pull back the information about the brand in terms of the font, in terms of the tone of the brand, in terms of the main colors and the logos and the favicon. All of this is going to be extracted by this wizard, and then we can save this brand in Zite on our account. So just like that, without even a pause, we were able to get the branding from MailChimp. This is the light mode. This is the dark mode. The logo was extracted. The icon, which is the square logo, either for a favicon or app icon, was extracted. All of that information brought in right here. And of course, we can give this brand a name. This allows us to really quickly and easily reference it anytime we're building another app. And so now, moving on to next, these are the standard colors of the brand, the primary color, the secondary, accent, etc. So all of the main colors of the brand brought in here, and you can see here that it has the vibe of MailChimp, just from querying the MailChimp website, bringing back what is public information and dropping it in here. Next, we go over to the font and style. This is the font and style of MailChimp. Again, here's our reference point. This should look and feel very similar. And then, lastly, the tone. This is the stuff that I often overlook, and I think it's really, really critical, especially because we are vibe coding here. We're going to be giving prompts to Zite and ask it to build tools. And if we're doing it with a specific brand in mind, of course we want the tools that we build to reflect that brand in all areas, not just the aesthetics, but also the tone, the professionalism, the visual style, the business context. These are all things that Zite has now extracted from the original website that we pointed it to, and it's brought them over here. And just like that, we've created a new brand kit. And if I build something in this new thing, I'm going to say create a simple landing page and then set Zite to work. Because I've selected that particular brand, it is going to create that landing page or whatever instructions I give it. It's going to do it in the look and feel of that brand using all of the elements that we just identified through the branding component. Here it is. I had to wait a few seconds for Zite to do its thing, but that is the landing page that was produced. And if that doesn't look and feel almost identical to this page over here, I don't know what more you could possibly want. It is able to extract the look and feel of a brand, the tone, the business context, all of that, drop it right in, and just like that, we have a look and feel to this new application that we're building that closely mirrors MailChimp's. And I want to call out, in addition to this, that we can always go back to the branding component here and make changes. So if we want to make an edit because we don't like one of the colors, or maybe the logo changes or gets a facelift, we just go to manage our brand kits and we can select the brand kit that we either want to delete or go in there and make the changes. Edit the brand kit, and all of the different components here that we went through previously are up for grabs. We can make changes, we can make edits, and then save them when we're done, and they will be reflected throughout all of the apps that we built with this particular kit. Now let's dive into the second key feature that was just released, and this one has to do with agent access in the database layer. This is wild stuff that we can accomplish here. Let's dive in. Now, first, I want to call out that I've built a database with this particular application. It's a very simple database in Zite. It is just an inquiries table that has a name, an email, a status, and an outcome. So, of course, your data will be more complicated than this. This is for example purposes, but I have a prompt that I want to send to Zite, and I want it to basically do the work for me here. I want to reach out to anybody who's in our inquiries table that has a status of in progress, that has an outcome of pending, and I want to message those people directly and say, hey, are you ready to move forward? So I've got a prompt already spun up that I'll copy and paste in here. And it simply says that for an inquiry where the status equals progress and outcome equals pending, we want to send an engagement email to check on progress of moving forward. So this is a common thing that would happen inside of a CRM. And now we can do it just with a prompt to AI. So we're calling out that we want to send an email to any client who matches these conditions. Let's draft a simple email, blah, blah, blah. So we can go right into build mode here, but for our purposes, let's change this over to chat and see what the app sends back to us. So very often when I first want to just kind of query Zite and get a feeling for how we should best move forward, I'll use the chat mode first, get that information, and moving forward with that. So here's what Zite is suggesting. Connect an email integration, and then we're going to build out the process to send those engagement emails. It's even put together a prompt for me just like this. So let's run that prompt. See what happens. We'll come back once Zite has done its thinking. So it didn't take long for Zite to recognize that we have not yet integrated email with this application. So we can connect email here. We can do a custom SMTP if you have a specific one that you want to sync up here, or you can use Zite's standard notify or a Gmail or Outlook for sending any messages from your particular applications. For our purposes, let's go with Zite, and we'll just use the standard Zite notification email from Zite itself. Now, it's going through the next steps. It is calling out what it's doing, of course, syncing the backend library and ultimately creating the file, which is going to be the email that we need to send out, as well as, what action we want these folks to take. But more importantly, or equally importantly, who is going to get that message. It should not be everyone in our inquiries table, only the specific records that match the conditions that we set forth in our initial prompt. Now, here's what Zite executed for us. It's saying, hey, the custom email integration and the logic to find the context, this is all set. The email greets them by first name. It keeps a friendly and casual tone. And then it's calling out that it added a clean send engagement emails button to the landing page. This is not an action I wanted it to do, so I would have to walk this back and ask it not to do that. But let's go ahead and customize the email, which is the part I really want to see here. This email is going to come from Zite, and we can edit the body. You'll notice that it's calling out information from the database. So it's bringing in the first name of the person in the inquiries table. And you can see that this is, the copy that it moved forward with. What is this including? It's the app URL. So once we publish this app and we send these emails, then people can just click the button directly in their email to come right back to, the application that we built. And we can even customize this to take them to specific pages within the application if we so choose. So we get some flexibility on how all of that's coming in. If we make any edits, we would need to save them. We also have the core advanced functionality here, so you can add CCs or BCCs or attachments. In our case, I just want Zite to do this work for us. You'll notice that it also has the workflows here. It built this entire process where it's going to query the database for the things that we called out, the status of in progress, the outcome of pending, and then it's going to filter those inquiries and then loop for everyone who meets that filter. But I don't want to do it manually. I'm going to ask Zite to do it. Please trigger this automation and send those emails. Now, while Zite is thinking, I want to call out that obviously we're testing something here. I've used my own email address for all of the records in the database just to make sure that I'm not spamming any real email addresses out there. So let's see what happens. Right here, you can see that Zite can actually perform the action directly from prompts with the agent in the application. So it's going to send the engagement emails for all inquiries with the status of in progress and the outcome of pending. Let's approve that action and see what happens. Now, according to my memory, there are 3 records that meet these conditions in our database layer, but you can see that Zite is running through. There we go. It went out to James, Daniel, and Amanda. Let's flip into the database to confirm that those are the correct ones. So number 1, James, in progress, outcome pending. That's correct. The next one here is Daniel, in progress, pending. Also correct. And lastly, Amanda, in progress and pending. Now let's flip into email to see what we received. And of course, because they're all coming to me, I've got a chain of 3 different ones here. But this is what the email looks like when it's sent by Zite. It comes from notifications, notify@mail.zite. Of course, as you saw, we could make that whatever we would like with Gmail or Outlook or custom SMTP. But we got those emails to James, we got the email to Daniel, and we got the email to Amanda. Now you'll notice that there is not a button in these emails, and that's because we never actually published our application. So there's not a live place to actually send people once they were to click. So that is something that I should have done before actually sending these emails. But I hope that this demonstrates to you how powerful this is. We no longer have to build entire workflows in order to execute something simple. We can just talk directly to the agent that manages our data layer and take action as we see fit. These recent updates from Zite are already saving us tons of times, both by instant branding for your next project, as well as sending things directly from the database layer just through natural language. Massive updates, and I hope that you see the value. If you loved this video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, give us a thumbs up so that you see more content like this. In addition, if you have questions that we did not answer, swing by our website. We have a ton of resources there, including that free strategy call where you can hop on with our team to get clarity on your next no-code project. Sign up for that at gapconsulting.io/strategy-call. That's it for this one. Most important thing, my friends, keep on building.